Okay, I'm just gonna quickly go over some of the touches that I added to this so that I could get a little bit more diagnostics. So let me quickly run through this real quick. So I wanted to do a couple things. So there were things that were set up already, but I wanted to see a couple things like if people could dodge over these spikes and things like that. And I'll go over exactly why I did that in just a sec. Exactly what time they picked up the explorer, and then again if they got hit by these boulders, and then how long it took for them to get back to the start. Just because I just wanted to see, this is a simple level setup, but there are a couple little tricky bits, like the spikes and the boulders, getting past them without, getting hit. Because in a real game, you might die if you get hit by these. But I just wanted to see, like, are people getting hit by that? Are they getting hit by the spikes? Are they getting hit by the boulders? And I just kind of wanted to know, like, how long did it take for them to actually pick up the explorer? How long did it take for them to get back? Could they find their way back easily? And when I go and look at the blueprints, I'll talk about that a little bit more. But I added a few variables over here just to check if they got hit by the boulders or if they got hit by the spikes, and they're simple booleans. And I'm checking them up here, and I just see, when we cast to the boulder and we get our collisions, did they get hit, and if they did, set a variable, they got hit by the boulder. Same thing for the spike zones. Did they get hit by the spikes, and then if they did, set those to true so that we know that they got hit by the spikes or they didn't get hit by whatever we're trying to look at. And then I just added them over here and gave them a little title that says hit boulders or hit spikes, and then the boolean value, true or false, and that would let me see if they got hit or not. And then I added in here one other thing that says explorer picked up at, and I just want to know, like, how long did it take for them to actually find the explorer? Was most of their time spent looking around at the environment, trying to find their way around, getting stuck by obstacles, and was it a difficult way to find your way around to find the explorer? That's what I was trying to check here. And then these two, the boulders and the spikes, I just want to see a couple things. Like let's take a look at the boulders first. I just wanted to see, was the character's jump too high for them to get over the boulders? Like, is that a feasible means of getting through the boulders? And it is a feasible means right now. So maybe that would be a thing that we'd want to limit. So it's more of a difficult challenge for them to actually get through the boulders. But at that point, is it too simple for them to actually just walk through the boulders? Do they come out at varying times? Do they have to pay attention to the pattern that the boulders come out, and find exactly where it would be just difficult enough that they really have to pay attention to the pattern that the boulders are coming out at, and then find exactly when they want to run through, or if they need to start and stop, or if they can find exactly a time where they can just sprint right through. That would be something that I would check with this kind of thing. And then just looking at metrics for the jump height, the jump distance, things like that. And the same kind of thing applies here with the spikes. And it's can they just traverse over the spikes simply enough by jumping? Is it something that you just jump once and you're done, you get over them, it's not really an obstacle? Like, how far apart should we put the spikes? Should we limit the jump height or jump distance so that it becomes a more meaningful challenge for them to get over the spikes? Maybe even add things like you have the explorer, so maybe the first time through, the spikes aren't that big of an issue because it's just yourself, but you pick up the explorer, now you have extra weight. Maybe now it's a lot more difficult to get over the spikes, so maybe you go through the boulders this time. But, just those types of things, looking to see, is it too simple, too difficult? What kind of metrics can we get from just getting hit by the spikes and the boulders, and looking at that compared to some of the character variables? And that's just what I wanted to cover here. It was really simple adding these in. I just added a couple things so I could look at some metrics of this game.